Welcome to the Brandon T Show, where we talk about everything that's important to the working man. And we're not politically correct here at all. So working man is men, women, whoever's out here getting it. And with that said, this is the Working Man Committee. Let's go. Working man, everybody, how y'all doing today? We got some interesting things on our topic list. And it is election year. It is almost voting time. Yep. And so there's some tight races out here. Very tight. And there's one down in Georgia where I think the Senate race, the head of the party over the Democratic side mostly, is very worried about what's going to happen. Very worried. Very concerned what's happening down there. Important race. Because right now, the Senate is split 50-50. And so, any little jostulation in the wrong spot, Republicans can take back over. Or, Democrats can solidly take it. So, the big party is about to call in the big guns. And going to try to bring that on home for them. Yeah. You got to watch that out down there. Then, in sports news, matter of fact, we're going to call that sport news. We're going to call this relationship-wise. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, what you feel like your goals in life can be more important than your partner. Yeah. And if your partner ain't on board, sometimes you got to just leave them. I know. It could be years in the making with them. And they're not on board. That is something else. But we'll get into that more. And then, you know what I'm saying, there's another issue in Miami. What do you mean another issue in Miami? Miami's good vacation weather. I understand that back there. But like I said, Miami, if you remember back a bunch of years ago, I don't even know how many, was it a bunch of years ago? Pandemic and so forth, that there was a condo that collapsed down there. There might be more issues happening. Yeah, could be more issues happening in that arena. So definitely gotta watch out. And then we're gonna talk about we always go around the world. You know what I'm saying? Things are crazy in America, but hey, things are also crazy in other places. And you're not gonna realize what the Scottish are thinking. Oh, you might. Depends on who you are, how you feel about the world. That the Scottish, you might think, hey, the Scottish might be on something, or the Scottish might be crazy. Hey. I'm just reporting. I'm just going to report that news. And so forth. And in Brazil, it's like the selection year down there in Brazil also. A lot going on in Brazil. And we're going to dive into it. And energy companies. See, there might be some climate optimism thing. You know what I'm saying? Innovation, right? Innovation creates optimism. And so we're going to see what happens with that. And with that said, let's get into our stories today. So, Chuck Schumer says Warnock, the Senate race against Walker, is going downhill in his remarks to the president. Yes. Chuck Schumer. if you're a radio host, if you're a radio fan and you listen to everything on the radio, you would catch, you know what I'm saying, who used to say that in that reference. So anyway, he's in this race here is getting very tight. And so Chuck Schumer, the Senate Georgia leader, and President Biden were talking about this in a private discussion that was picked up on a mic and a camera while standing in an airport terminal in Syracuse, New York, with Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and the governor. All was right there. Chuck Schumer looked over there. Chuck Schumer is a senator from New York. Looks over there like, things are getting tight. Might be downhill for us. We got to figure something out. Yeah. Let's see, the states where he's going down here in Georgia, Schumer appears to be telling Biden it's hard to believe that they are they will go for Herschel Walker. He is surprised that Herschel Walker could win that Senate seat. Yes, the voters, he says. And so what's going to happen here? Biden know that Barack Obama is heading down there very soon to campaign with him. Let's say that. Hold on. And Democrat Stacey Abrams. So Barack Obama's going to campaign for Warnock and Stacey Abrams for the unseat Brian Kemp as governor. So hold up now. So let's get this right. Chuck Schumer and the other New York senator, Christian, and the governor and Biden all talking about what's happened in Georgia. And so Biden, so let's make sure we get this right here. That Biden in talking about Georgia, where Georgia is a southern state, big high black population, is saying, you know what we gonna do? We ain't none of us gonna go down there. We're gonna send Barack Obama down there. They like him. He's one of them. Whew. Man. See, Biden, I don't know how Biden get away with it. But like I said, it's crazy. And so Walmart was elected in 2020. You know, so Senate races are 6 years, but it was in 2020. But it was a special race to from the lady that left out of there. So it was like a special election that they had this. So this turn here with between Herschel and Warnock will be for a full term in this race. And so so what's crazy here, right? Let me add this part. There's anti-abortion Republican format is stirring the pot with Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker's Republican, and you got the anti-abortion Republicans that are like, what we gonna do? Because when they holding the line on that abortion thing, it ain't like that guy would be a Republican. They holding the line because Herschel might have had an abortion 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago. I know, right? But we'll keep an eye on, see if them dispatching Obama down to Georgia to see can he whip the black folks in to vote for Warnock. And then on our other news, more news. Let's go over there and talk about some politics. Not even. Yeah, let's in another race. Let's keep the race thing going. Let's see. Brazil's election, yes, has major world impact. Headline says. Why does it have major headlines? So Brazilians head to the poll on Sunday to vote in a critical presidential election to test the world's fourth largest democracy and could have a critical impact on the fight against climate change. Climate change? That's interesting. So I guess one of them is pro climate change, and I guess the other one doesn't care. Just off taking the headline, right? And so on the far right, his current president, I'm gonna let y'all go look at his name, and he's blasting Christian nationalist wide criticism of escalating destruction of the Amazon rainforest, mishandling Brazil's COVID measures, and casting doubt on the country's election system. Hey, if you take that right there, you could run this same playbook in this country. Because these same things that are said here about the incoming guy, the guy that's already there, besides the rainforest part, is going to be said here. It was said about the guy in 2020. Remember him? He mishandled the COVID response. Remember that? put down on the election system. Let's see. He faces a tough fight from former president and one-time Latin American most storied leftist. Oh, man. Lewis. And so, universally known as Lewis. His lead in polls narrowed since winning the most votes in the first time round 4 weeks back. How many rounds y'all got down there? That's how y'all do it in rounds? All right. So in Brazil, you got a strong leftist, and then you got the guy that's in there now that must be a super conservative that don't care about the rainforest. And didn't do much about COVID. All right. Well, that's something else. All right. Let's go back to this country. Let's talk about what's happening in Miami. Yeah, Miami. Everybody goes to South Beach for vacation. But there's more happening down there. So, a Miami building was evacuated near the site of the deadly Surfside condo collapse. Yes, residents of Miami building on the same street where the condo collapsed killed nearly 100 people were forced to evacuate Thursday, even after officials deemed the structure was unsafe and gave order to live. So let's think about that. So there's another structure on that same street. So I don't know what's up with that street and the owners on that street. I don't know if it's one of those, you know what I'm saying, one of those situations where I know y'all, hey, side note, I know y'all look on social media, right? And it's out there. You can't miss. You scrolling through your phone, scrolling through YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. And you always got these professional advice givers about real estate. Hey, get real estate. We can show you how to buy it with no money down. You ain't even got to have no money. Matter of fact, you might be eating ramen noodles barely. And we can figure out how to get you in some properties. This happened where you had somebody buy properties on this street, nice and cheap. You know what I'm saying? Ran the game on them. And then next thing you know, when it's time to fix something, you can't fix it because what your monthly rent carries and what the mortgage on it carries is too close. There's no margin for it. Is this what's happening here? I don't know. But like I said, it's a little disheartening. Yeah, so Miami Beach spokesman Melissa said around 4 p.m. Thursday that the city plans to post an unsafe structure notice and order residents in the 14-story Port Royal building to vacate immediately. Around 5 p.m., the condo board sent residents a mandatory notice of vacates by 7 p.m. So let's understand what we got here. So at 4 p.m., the city was going to send it over there. And so I guess they sent it over there to the people, and they got it at 5 p.m. So 2 hours later, y'all about to get out of here for something happened. Now imagine how to clean your house out in 2 hours. You got 2 hours to clean your house. And there's 14 floors in this building. I mean, let's see. Does it say how many apartments on each floor? So this thing is 164 unit structure. And you got all these units, and everybody got to be out in 2 hours exactly. It ain't like you get 2 hours and we take 15 days to do this. It's right then and there. Wow. Reports of the building structure promoted evacuation notices. Good gracious. So, what do we have here? Why did it get to... My question is, to the people that inspect this place and so forth, why did it get that close? That you give people 3 hours, because at 4 o'clock you decided what you want to do, 5 o'clock you made the board do it, and at 7 o'clock they had you out of there. Why in the world did it get that close? Who is not on their job? Who is suspecting this place and was like, oh, this is good to go? Really? Just after what happened this was 2021, back in June, last year, in the other building. Really? Who was expecting this job? Who was the owner of this to let their building get in that disarray? Huh? Hopefully we figure out what's happening with all these buildings and landlords and so forth. All right. Let's talk a little relationship in sports. So quarterback Tom Brady and model Gisele Bündchen announced their divorce of 13 years. Whoa. 13 years. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen finalized their divorce that announced on Friday, ending the 13 years of marriage between the two superstars who reportedly reached the pinnacle of fashion and football. Goat man, yeah, that's him. And had a supermodel wife. Hey man, dude checked all the boxes. And what they say the boxes should be checked. You know what I'm saying? You that dude, you with it Super Bowls and all that stuff. You a superstar athlete and you got a supermodel wife. Brady and Bündchen posted a statement on their Instagram Friday morning saying that they had amicably reached a decision. The decision ended marriage is never easy, but we have grown apart and while it was of course difficult to go through something like this, I felt blessed at the same time we had together and only wish the best for Tom always Bündchen. Oh, that was sweet. Let's see. And they both love their children. And then I guess Tom says this: we arrived at this decision at the end of our marriage after consideration. Tom wrote, doing so is of course a painful and difficult, like it is for many people who go through the same thing every day around the world. My thing is this, right? Reports have been said that she won't her 44-year-old husband that's played 23 years in the NFL, that's won 7 Super Bowls, to come home and be a dad to their 3 kids. And so Tom at one time retired. He's like, I'm going to do that. Back in February, after the end of the season, I'm going to retire. Only to change his mind 40 days later and say, hey, man, I want to go hang out with the guys. So a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things you got to look at like this, right? So, Tom, how long you really think you can play? I get it. You know what I'm saying? You can't even tackle you. I mean, Joe can slap you on the arm too hard, they get it rough in the passer. And so, I mean, I understand you like, well, the rules are in your hand. But really, you 45 almost, or you 45. I mean, where are we going, to 50? How far? 1 more year? Say if you do 1 more. Say you finish this year, I'm like, oh, man, we could have made it and you want 1 more year. Was that enough to, you know what I'm saying, to throw the family away? Or maybe you're just done with it. Maybe you want to be a free man. 13 years over here. And then, you know what I'm saying, so forth. Maybe no obligation. Maybe you want to go, come, do what you want to do. I mean, I understand that. All right. Well, good luck to Tom and Gisele raising children, co-parenting, and all stuff. And you know how it is. It can be very difficult. And I know that Gisele, the reporter, said, hey, Tom ain't there during football season no way. So they already got a system. And, you know, they're super rich. They use nannies and butlers and cooks and all that stuff. So, hey, it ain't that much to do anyway. I wouldn't think. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. It could be just them in that house. And they doing regular stuff like regular folks do. I know. Yep. All right. This is interesting. I got two final stories here. They're both very interesting. And I don't know which way to go with these for y'all out there. But I'm hey man, let's go back overseas. Scottish Labour vows to bring people together over gender oh my God. Whew. Recognition reform. Yes. The Scottish Labour has pledged to bring people together over the issue of a gender recognition reform after an intense Holy Road debate over a prospect of making it easier for transgender people to change their legal sex that's transgender people to change their legal sex that saw the Scottish National Party suffered its biggest backlash revolt in 15 years. A revolt? Hold on, let's see. So, let's go back over this again. Let's see. They propose. Let's see. In Holy Rod debate, they propose to make it easier for transgender people to change their legal sex that saw the Scottish National Party suffer its biggest backlash in 15 years. Why is that? Okay. Although the Gender Recognition Reform Bill easily passed the first three legislative stage on Thursday evening with a vote of 88 for it and 33 against it, with 4 abstaining as the legal legislation enters in the admin's stage to support some of the key elements, such as reducing in the age that what are we doing here? Such as reducing the age someone can apply for gender certification to 16. So what they want to do is say at 16 years old, you lived enough life that you can, if you want to be something different, then you can do it. Because at 16 you're an expert. Even though you're still in school, still got to raise your hand, ask, go pee, and all that good stuff. But I know that someone in the back, yeah, they 16-year-old parents ain't never there, on drugs, and they having to run the house and so forth. I get it. But that's few and far between. Anyway, during the debate, they warned that allowing reforms to now supported by every party in the Scottish Conservatives, the Scottish government can't exactly cross-party support to continue it if it doesn't address the significant concerns that have been raised. And some of the concerns that have been raised is, like I said, that age, and let's see, and when, let's see, and what it does for girls, women and girls. Yeah, because like I said, they get in front of these bills here. If a dude wants to be a girl, they support it all day. If a girl wants to be a dude, you don't really hear too much. But I mean, so it's like who wants to do it more, I guess, huh? And then who wants to do it more that's in control. All right. Let's see. A influential energy group sees a reason for climate optimism. All right. We got some optimism out there in the climate control debate. Global demand for all types of fossil fuels will peak by the mid of the 2030, according to the new projection from the International Energy Agency that offers a rare glimpse of optimism and change. So they said, all right, people. So 2030, you're gonna be using less energy, less fossil fuel. You know what I'm saying? There'll be energy created, they're saying, but it will be created outside of fossil fuel. Let's see, in the annual report released on Thursday, the IEA, a highly influential group, said it expected that the world demand on fossil fuels, natural gas, and other carbon-based elements fuel will start to decline because of new policies. New policy gonna force you to do it, that governments have put in place to fight climate change. Also suggested that energy crisis sparked by the war in Ukraine will accelerate the switch to green energy. Hold up. They're trying to find a silver lining in this war in Ukraine? Is that why they let it happen? pull Russia's oil off the market? Is that what they're letting it go for? So if you got Russia offline, let's see, Russia offline to the world, the group's gonna have to start using more green energy. Oh man, all right. 10 years from now, I believe it's right here. It's quoted here by the executive director, Faith here. In 10 years, I believe we will see the 2020 that the year we will start clean energy technology see a major turbocharge. Yes, she did. She's saying that what's happening this year, the conditions of this year, the Ukraine war, and Europe needing what they needing, they're going to be sparking new change. Okay. Like I said, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. So, like, that's interesting, right? Those stories are interesting, right? And it's like, election years is all the same, right? So the same thing that happened in this country happens in everywhere. Election year. Boom, here, Brazil, same debate, same questions. And my thing is this. Does anything ever get fixed anywhere in the world? It's like, how did y'all have the same debates about everything all the time? Right? No matter where in the world. Like I said, you can vote the person in. This group said, we're gonna do all this stuff, and they do none of it. And so forth. Something like this. What are we to do? I guess who smiles the best, right? And then energy, you know what I'm saying? It's funny that the energy groups, you know what I'm saying, it's always an agenda somewhere that stuff doesn't happen. Energy group is trying to figure out a good way that the war in Ukraine is going about. Thinking that's why there's not a bigger push to do something. Cause like, hey, we got this over here. Well. And then, hey, Miami, I'm like, man, y'all got to do better down there for, you know what I'm saying, y'all public infrastructure and so forth. I mean, giving people 2 hours to move, man, that's ridiculous. You let it get that close? Go by there, you probably check it every month. Every year. So at the end of the day, you just gotta pay attention to this stuff. And I'm here to help you pay attention to this stuff. And I'm your host, Brandon T. And we'll see you next time. Peace.